Do you want to make 2025 a year of growth, joy, and intention? I don't believe in New Year's resolutions necessarily because, spoiler alert, they typically don't even last a week for most people. But I do believe in big transformations that start with small habits that are so easy to fit into your life that it becomes a routine. And in this video, I'll walk you through 10 simple yet super powerful habits that will help you feel more intentional, energized, and productive. I know a lot of people say this, but start your day with gratitude. Take just 1 minute each morning to think of 3 things that you're grateful for. That's all it takes. Even if you think of just one thing, that is totally fine. This small mindset shift can be a positive tone for your day that you are starting. And mind you, if you are doing this first thing in the morning, you are not on your phone. I'm going to touch on this in a little bit, but starting January 1st, I'm remember also that I have been grateful for, or I am just thankful, and it makes me feel a lot of love for them because they're also often the people that drive us nuts also, right? So I want to intentionally focus on the positive instead of the negative because it is so easy in human nature for us to focus on the negative and dwell on that. Let's see if this helps me be a heck of a lot more patient, especially with my kids as we get tired and all of that during the day. Stay tuned if it works and let me know in the comments if you want to join me in that practice. Another big resolution that people make is movement, right? People have these big aspirations of getting in shape. But friends, why don't we just start smaller and find movements that we enjoy and that we can be consistent with? Because consistency is so much more important than intensity or the calories that we burn. If we can have fun doing it, and if we can stick with it, that is going to be long-term way better for us mentally and physically. There are things like the Japanese exercise. Have you seen that Ajio Taiso? I just made a video about it, but that is a 3-minute exercise that Japanese people have been doing for so long. It's 3 minutes. You can just put it on, do it for 3 minutes. If you want to do it multiple times throughout the day, by all means, do it. Maybe you do part 1 in the morning, part 2 in the afternoon, and then see how it goes because that's just 6 minutes and your body's going to feel so good just stretching it out, exercising, moving around. The movements are super easy for anybody. So great. Go check it out if you haven't. And can I also add in, there are some things that I want you to think about that you could potentially combine together because I have some fun activities that I do with the kids. So then now I am putting 2 things together where I want to spend more time with my kids and I want to exercise. So if it's stuffy dodgeball, I've talked about that. Or playing Just Dance on the Switch with the kids, it's training my brain and my body, and I'm having fun with the kids. So there's all these different things, even freeze tag at the park. Friends, if you have not tried that, don't knock it because I am always out of breath after I play. Drink water first thing in the morning. So a lot of people also have these habit trackers where you are tracking your water intake and you want to drink more because we all know that we need water in our bodies and it is just great for our health to get an abundant amount of water, right? Because our body is a lot made up of water. But when you drink it first thing in the morning, there is just something that it does for you with energy. And before you get to your coffee, before you get to other things that might dehydrate you or just impact you in a different way, take that sip of water. I like to keep this big jug. It's my favorite water bottle and I keep it by my nightstand. So super easy. I don't have to twist, untwist, and just do that. It doesn't leak when it's closed. Anyway, love this bottle. I think I'm going to add more stickers so that I have some more like motivational stuff and it's just funner to bring it along with me, or I look at it and I'm encouraged and then I remember to drink a sip of water. If I also have it by my desk, then I see it, I remember it, I am encouraged, and it also tells me I need to get up and move around so that if you are at a desk job like I am, so for my 9 to 5, I sit at my computer a lot, and for my 5 to 9 or post 9 to 5 with my YouTube stuff, I am also sitting at a computer or in front of a camera a lot. So I just need to get up and move. That is one of the things. Just do a few exercises every hour. That is still movement and that still counts, friends. It's great for your posture. It's great for your mental stuff. It is great for your body. So anyway, drink your water, get up and move. And while you're taking that sip of water, maybe you can take a sip of water, think of gratitude, think of that one thing that you are grateful for, and do your morning routine stuff before, again, you touch your phone. Another thing for the morning is to plan for success. I have raved about planning. I think if you plan, then you are setting yourself up for success. And just take the 5 to 10 minutes every morning to check in with yourself of what your priorities are. And I say morning planning, but I talk about annual planning, quarterly planning, weekly planning, which feeds into this daily plan, because if you do not prioritize and you do not know what you want to achieve or what is important to you, it is really hard to prioritize what you need to do and what you want to do, because there is always more to do than you have time for. And so we need to figure out what is worth our time and what we have to say no to. Knowing what to say no to is really important. So plan in the morning. I take my 5 minutes. I know what it is that I want to get done today. And if I get those 3 to 5 things done, that is a success for my day. And if I can get to my want to do things, that is even more of a bonus. If you haven't heard me talk about all the other planning methods, I talk a lot about them. So just comment planning and I will get you that information. I also have this video here to get you started on just life vision, which then feeds into all of these planning on smaller scales. Okay, now we're moving on throughout our day and eat the rainbow. You've probably heard me say this before too, but when you incorporate all these different colors and make it kind of like a game and involve the kids too, because it becomes more fun. But every color of the rainbow in our foods has different properties, different benefits for our bodies. And so if we can eat that red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, add in some brown, black, white, it is fantastic for our health. And it just makes it a little more fun. And when we can challenge as a family to do it, it brings out so many more different things. We talk about it. We actually make health a priority in our family, which is fantastic. And when I say color friends, it is not Lucky Charms. That does not fit the whole bill. Okay, we are talking natural foods like fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, things like that, not the artificial stuff. And I mentioned this a little bit, touched on it. Multitasking. Multitask what isn't focus work. So if you are doing work, or if you are editing videos, or if you are doing something that really needs your attention, like reading or something, right? If you're reading a book, you cannot multitask because you will not retain anything and you will not be productive in whatever you are doing. However, there are other things that you can multitask. And one of those things I said, this is kind of bundling and not necessarily multitasking, but the having fun with your kids while you exercise is one thing, or spending time with your spouse and going on a walk together. That is multitasking or bundling, however way you want to call it. There are other things that you can do, like if you are doing, I'll call it mindless stuff, like cleaning the counter, folding laundry, or commuting. Now, mind you, that is not mindless, but you can do other things like put on a podcast, listen to music, listen to an audiobook. These things that you want to do or make more time for, do it. Add them in and you are learning as you go. That is one of my favorite things, is to listen to audiobooks. And I do it when I am commuting, when I am exercising, if I go to the gym, when I am doing all these other things. You got to be able to put it in. Or it's also spending time doing things like if I'm brushing my teeth, I will do squats, or I will do some exercises. Or if I am throwing the football for my kid and I have some downtime, I might do some squat lunges or jump squats or jump lunges for my PT stuff. It is just thinking outside the box to be able to bundle some of these things in, because we all have the same limited amount of time. We just have to be wise about how we use it. The 1 minute rule. Have you heard this? If you can do something in under a minute, just do it. So like throwing a piece of trash away. The trash can is right there, but so many times we just leave it at our desk or leave it at the table and you don't take it over, right? Just do it. Or putting your jacket on the hanger. Instead of hanging it in one spot or just dropping it in one spot, just take the 10 extra steps, whether it is you or a kid, and have the hanger put up and do it. so that you are not doing it later. The mess is not bothering you. Just do it. Nike was onto something. Just do it. This is the new one that we like. Declutter for 5, 10, or 15 minutes daily. This is up to you on what time. So maybe start at 5 minutes and then see how that goes. But this is just setting the timer and taking a designated space and cleaning it. You can make this a fun thing where you invite the whole family to do it. You all set the timer together and you clean. For example, it could be a small space like the kitchen counter, which gets, if you're like me, it gets full rather quickly and it doesn't get a habit. Or it could be your work desk. My desk looks quite cluttered. I don't even want to show you, but you know what? That's going to be my next 5-minute project right there. I'm just going to clean it off. 5 minutes. You think it's a small amount, but you can do a heck of a lot done if you just focus, small area, and go. And if you all do it together, it is actually kind of fun and a challenge of what all you can do, and the before and after. It is so gratifying. And that's probably what makes you keep going the next day and the next day and the next day. And again, if you can start at 5 minutes and keep increasing to 10 or 15, it makes a world of a difference. And then when you make it a habit, all right, we're going to get sleepy time, which is limit your screen time before bed. We have all been there and we have all heard that blue lights are bad for our sleep, right? But we really want to go to sleep at consistent times as well. And you've heard me talk about this. I have come to love Hayane Hayaoki, which is a Japanese practice of going to sleep early and going to wake early as well. This has actually been really nice because now I am going to sleep usually at the same time as my husband, who usually goes to bed earlier because I was working on YouTube stuff or side gig stuff after my 9 to 5, and it just kind of takes up more time than I thought, right? But it has other benefits too because we get more snuggle time and it builds up my oxytocin from hanging out with him, and it's been good for our bonding time, especially as parents, where a lot of our time gets sucked up with kid stuff, right? Or talking about kid stuff. So if you swap that scrolling for reading, journaling, stretching, or calming activities to improve our sleep quality and our mental clarity, and you get to go to bed at the same time as your partner, this is all win-win kind of stuff, right? So while we're at it, I mentioned stop looking at your phone first thing in the morning also, right? It's just great practice to not look at it as the last thing before bed and not look at it as the first thing before bed. So if it helps to take away the temptation, move the phone away from your bed and just get in a standard regular clock. And that might help with you not touching that phone. In the morning, just go do your morning routine, do your gratitude, take that water sips, and go hug your loved ones. And then when you're ready, go check your phone. I might actually even put something on the front of my phone. Maybe it's one of those little virtual stickies that say, do you really want to be looking at your phone right now? Because we all touch our phone way, way more times than we should when we're bored, when we're whatever. It's not even intentional. We just pick it up and start looking at it. If you know, you know. So if you want to put a virtual sticky on it like I am going to, friends, we're friends. And this is a fun one that I have come to do and come to appreciate, is to jot down one memorable moment from each day. So whether it's during the day or nighttime and reflecting, you write down one thing that you want to remember. It doesn't have to be joyful. It doesn't have to make you smile. It could have been a hard thing, but it is something you want to remember and you want to learn from. And I've heard this as multiple different ways, but one way was a faith practice where people did this reflection at night on the day. So that could be what it incorporates, but I've also heard the author Michael Dix call it homework for life, where you have these endless stories by the end of the year because you have jotted down one thing each day that you want to remember. So now you have tons of stories, memories, learnings that you can go back and look at and keep learning and even sharing with others. So, have I convinced you that these habits can truly make a difference for you in 2025? If so, I want you to share in the comments which ones you're going to start with, or maybe it's multiple. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It is about making progress. If these habits resonate with you, give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend who could be your accountability buddy, because that, we know, makes it so much easier to stick with the things that we want to do. Or it might be a friend that could use a little extra motivation. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that inspires you to live intentionally and joyfully. Until next time, take care and keep growing, friends. Happy 2025.